Hello and welcome to One Cool Thing, PC Mag's daily show where we show you one cool thing which we are testing out here in the PC Mag Labs. I'm Sasha Segan, this is Jim Fisher. Now if you are watching us live on Facebook, then please ask questions, make comments. Jim knows all about cameras, drones, flying cameras, flying drones.
Lenses, flying lenses.
Flying lenses,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Jim knows all about this stuff, so you can ask him any question about anything in the category. If you are on YouTube, please like and subscribe, and consider coming over to Facebook at 10 a.m. Eastern on weekdays so that you can participate in our live show, because being live is a big part of the fun. So today we have a drone. It is the cutest little drone I have seen in quite some time. It is the DJI Mavic Pro Platinum, and our cameraman has convinced me that we can actually launch this drone in the office. I'm convinced that we're all gonna die and that this thing is gonna shoot out like, I don't know, razor blades or something. But why don't we take a look here? Jim, why don't you unfold it and show us how
I
it
think
works?
we're going to be okay. This is actually something that's safe for indoor flight. It's got these sensors on the bottom to monitor the ground underneath it and hold its position. But this is the second version of DJI's Mavic Pro, the Platinum. It's a little refined. Same body design though, which is very easy to set up in the field. You pretty much just need to get it going. Unfold, 2 button presses to turn it on, and we're gonna let it do its beeps and bobbles.
Twitching.
It's gonna twitch a little bit. I am going to get into the remote here and enter my device. It is connecting to the aircraft at the moment.
Okay, now does it comes with this remote?
Yes,
And the remote requires a smartphone to snap into it.
yes.
Okay.
Well, you can fly without the smartphone, but then you won't see what the camera's doing. You won't be able to change video settings, be able to start and stop recording, but not adjust anything. It's highly recommended.
iOS and Android?
Yes.
Okay, great.
It has these little dongle cables that come off here. Lightning, micro USB, and USB-C are all in the box.
Terrific. Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, let's
right.
blast this thing
Let's
off.
back up.
Move away from the drone.
Let's see if this goes. Sorry. Normally when you're outdoors, you wait for a GPS lock to take off.
Live demos, everyone.
Oh, but you know what? We've got some magnetic interference going on in here.
What is magnetic interference, and why does that matter?
Well, if the compass can't get a good lock, even without GPS, you need to have a compass in this thing that has an idea of where magnetic north is. And if you get magnetic interference, it's going to tell you maybe you shouldn't take off. But it's let me take off now. So
Okay, great.
we're gonna spin up, maybe. Nope, we got too much magnetic interference in here, unfortunately. Here on the remote, we can see it. I know, we tried to demo it.
Yep.
Mag interference. So that is one of the downsides of trying to take off with all these lights and random New York City building things happening.
Yep. So let me just hold up the drone here. We're going to take questions a little bit later, because I feel like some of the questions are going to be answered as we go through the features of this drone. So there's the controls. But let's start with the features of the drone itself. Now, I see here that it has a built-in camera.
It does.
Under a housing. Now, is this camera replaceable, or is this just the camera?
The camera's not replaceable. You can remove the plastic housing if you're concerned about glare. It will obviously prevent bugs from hitting the lens when you're flying.
And what's the resolution of the camera?
It's a 4K camera, 12 megapixel stills.
Okay, great. Now here's the battery on the top. What's the battery life like for this drone?
DJI rates it at 30 minutes in their standard tests. We got 28 minutes in the field on average. We did a few test flights and averaged the time together, which is really good.
How high, how fast, how far?
FAA limit, which is your 400 feet above ground level, above takeoff level. It flew around 20-ish, 22 in with obstacle avoidance turned on, and hits around 40 in sport mode.
Okay.
So it can go pretty fast. Sport mode turns the obstacle avoidance system off though, so you want to do that where you have high and clear and not danger of running into anything.
Okay, so the obstacle avoidance system is part of, one of the things I find so interesting about these drones is how intelligent they are. and this drone will not run into things, you're saying?
Right, it's got these sensors here on the front, and if it detects, if it's flying and detects you there, it will stop well before it gets this close.
Okay.
It'll stop from, about this far out, and won't let you go any further forward.
Okay. And now, is that common on less expensive small drones as well, or is that something that you're getting at this price point?
No, it's only something we're seeing in this form factor from DJI. Unique has its Typhoon H, which is a big hexacopter, which has Intel RealSense, which does a very similar thing. But both the Mavic Pro Platinum, Mavic Pro, and the new Mavic Air have obstacle avoidance in the front.
Okay.
The Air has it on the back as well. The Pro does not.
Okay, great. Let's start taking some questions.
How durable is it?
I wouldn't crash it. It's sturdy enough where I don't feel bad folding it up, putting it naked in a messenger bag, in a camera bag. It occupies about the same space as a 70-200mm lens, which is great.
How decent is the weather resistance?
It's not weatherproof, so you want to fly it in under dry skies.
Okay, about light rain even?
I haven't tried it in light rain. Others have with modicum success. So that's something you do at your own risk. It's not rated for flying in weather.
Okay, okay. Looks like we have another question out there.
We've got someone who wants to fly it at high mountains, like 2,000 meters above sea level. Does that matter?
2,000 meters is how many feet?
That is 6,000 feet.
That's fine. I think these are rated above. DJI has specs as far as your operating ceiling above sea level, and I believe it's around 16,000 feet, but I'd have to double check that.
Okay, so now we were discussing before the show one of the concerns that some people might have with DJI drones, which is their reliance on a cloud account. And maybe you can get a little into that. What do you need to do to work this drone vis-a-vis the cloud, and what does that restrict you from doing?
You need to activate it, and you need to have an active DJI Go account to do so. Out of the box, without activating it with your account, you're limited to not having a camera feed on your phone, flying like 30 feet away. Very, 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 very restrictive. That's something that DJI rolled out last May, and this is the first DJI drone we've looked at since that firmware update. It's a big safety issue. They've rolled out a new geofencing system where it will show you on a map where you can fly with authorization, where you can fly with an override, and there are 4 different levels of areas: light green, dark green, yellow, and red.
Yeah, let me pull that up on our big screen here to show you how complicated the airspace can be when you're trying to use a drone. Now, of course, if you're out in the mountains, you're not going to have an image like this, but here in the New York metro area, it's very busy airspace.
Right. The light green circles, the largest of the concentric there. Yeah, they're going to be. The app's just going to say, "Hey, this is an enhanced warning zone, or a warning zone. Just let you know, be careful flying here."
Okay.
The next level of green in there, that one. The app is going to say, "You're within 5 miles of an airport. Do you have permission to do this?" And if you say yes, you should call the airport tower if it's controlled, and if it's not controlled, you just have to fly by visual sight rules.
But you can do that by just checking a box in the app.
Check a box in the app.
Okay.
Next is yellow. You can barely see it there, but that's within a tighter radius around the airports and other restricted areas. That you need to email DJI ahead of your flight.
Wow.
Let them know when you'll be flying, and they will unlock it for you, assuming you have authorization.
And finally, the red area is just no go.
Red's no go. Washington, D.C. is a red area.
Yeah.
Major airports, you've got Newark Liberty down there, right there. Yeah. That's a red area. So.
Okay. Let's take another question.
Are there drones that are operated by cell phone?
You can fly this with the phone alone without the controller if you want to. There's a little toggle switch in there. It limits the range. The on-screen controls are much more clunky than these little controls. And honestly, with this remote control, when the phone's not attached to it, as far as making it portable goes, let's just take it out here, it folds up pretty nicely.
Well, wait. If you're operating it with the phone alone, what is the range? Because phones don't really have...
It's like 200 feet.
Yeah, because you're basically dealing with Wi-Fi range.
Yeah,
and it has to be within Wi-Fi
It's a
range.
Wi-Fi connection, a direct peer-to-peer Wi-Fi connection, and it's like 200 feet.
Yeah, I mean, that's the issue and why we have these separate controllers for drones, because this is a low-frequency RF connection, and this will go how far?
2.5 miles according to DJI.
Yeah.
I wouldn't ever fly it that far away. Technically, FAA regs, you're within line of sight.
Yep.
So you'll have no problem, even in suburbia, where sometimes you're never going to get 2.5 miles in a crowded network space. You can still fly well beyond line of sight without having to worry about any sort of drop in connection.
Now, I'll just say the reason you can't, one of the big reasons you can't fly drones using 4G LTE, I think, is the latency. But that may change with 5G networks coming over the next few years. I would not be surprised to see in 2020, 2021, 2022, drones widely adopting 5G, being connected to 5G networks, and then you being able to operate it in a live function way from your 5G phone.
Yeah.
Let's take another question.
So if someone's a new drone owner and they're a bit insecure about like their skill in flying it, because like you said, like don't crash it, like or else it would be really damaged. What should they really do? How would they prepare themselves?
Take some courses. There's online software training. You can take a course at probably a local community college or someplace offering a drone 101 thing. Go someplace and learn to fly low and slow. Go to a park where there aren't a lot of people. Go early in the morning when no one's there. You know, a football field type area, and fly. You know, buzz around there if you don't have space in your property to do so.
How many? Just because I'm thinking now in an aviation mindset. How many hours of training? How many hours of live flight time would you say it takes before someone feels really proficient with the drone?
A couple hundred probably. I mean, it's something you get more and more comfortable with.
It's a lot
as
like
you
flying
go.
a plane.
Yeah. You know, when I first started flying these things, just because they had cameras on them, and we wanted to look at the category, I crashed a few. You know, I was trying, and it's like, no.
I've seen those busted drones in the office.
Yeah. So it happens. These do have a lot of safety features and automated flight features. The obstacle avoidance is a big thing. So if you are flying and you may be a little bit too close to that tree, it's going to stop.
Okay.
But it has some automated things that can get you in trouble too. It's got an orbit mode. You can circle around in a perfect circle. But you want to make sure your orbit is set so you're not going to sideswipe anything.
Oh, okay.
You know, because there's no side sensors on it.
Now this is of a particular subcategory of small or portable drones.
Yeah.
And how does it compare to the other small drones in that category?
The Mavic Pro and the Mavic Pro Platinum we're looking at here. The Platinum offering a little quieter operation and longer flight times thanks to the redesigned propellers. They're the best of the best. The other ones we've seen, Unique Breeze, and was probably the second best of that level. Still needs some work. You know, its camera's not as good. It's not as well built. It doesn't fold. It's a lot cheaper, so that's an option. DJI has its own Spark, which is this little hand takeoff. We've done that. We've looked at that here before. The problem with that is the battery life is real low. It's like 12 minutes.
Okay, so yeah, that won't get you very far. It looks like we have another question.
Is there a follow feature for this drone?
Yeah, it can do it a couple different ways. It can follow the position of the phone and the remote, or if you have a subject in your frame that you want to follow, you can just on the phone screen draw a box around them, and it will identify them with machine learning and track them.
Okay. Any more questions out there? Okay, great. So this is the DJI Mavic Pro Platinum, and we are giving this our editor's choice for what technically is the category here?
Small drones.
Okay.
You know, we have the Phantom 4 Pro is also an editor's choice. The Phantom 4 Pro is the larger, rigid form factor.
Yeah.
But it's got a much better camera on it. It's got a camera with a 1-inch sensor. This has got a 1/2.3-inch sensor camera, like most point-and-shoot cameras have.
But that one, you're going to need to bring it somewhere in a custom drone bag as opposed to just popping this in your backpack.
It's backpackable, yeah. This, you know, I have Think Tank makes a nice dedicated backpack for the Phantom series. This I can put in my camera bag along with the rest of my gear very easily.
Yeah, and that's just great. And this is $1,100. Is that a base price or is that the all-inclusive price?
That's the price for the drone, battery, remote.
Okay.
There's a Fly More combo, which has a couple spare batteries. And there's also the original Mavic Pro, which is, you know, as I said, gets a few minutes less battery time, it's a little louder. But that sells for around $900 now, so that's a nice budget alternative.
Okay. Okay, great. So thank you all for watching. This has been One Cool Thing with PCMag.com. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe. If you're on Facebook, thanks for participating in the discussion. And we will be back on Monday with another cool thing for you.